Hey GolfersRx, the Golf Yogi here, bringing you your weekly dose of golf fitness. Today we're going to do a video based off an email I got last week from one of the GolfersRx members asking, he said he saw a video on how to warm up and what we're trying to do when we warm up. He had a great question though, what do you do when you're running a little late? When you get to the course you have 15 minutes or so before your tee time. So I know we've all been in that position before. Most of us go about it the same way. We get there, we grab a small bucket of balls, we get out to hit as many as we can, as fast as we can, and then get to the first tee trying to get the body warmed up. So I kind of relate that to when I first got into yoga. There were days that I might be running a little bit late to get to a yoga class, and all of a sudden I'm doing 60 and a 45, flying down the road, squealing into the parking lot, running in, throwing my mat down, trying to get in 2 minutes before you start class, or maybe even a minute after they've already started. It's kind of defeating the purpose of trying to get nice and relaxed and enjoy the yoga practice when you put so much stress on getting there. So kind of the same thing when you get to the course running a little late. We all have that, anxiety going, oh, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got a million things to do before we get there. So instead of grabbing that small bucket of balls and hitting as many as you can, trying to rifle a bunch of drivers, let me give you some better ideas. One thing that we've talked about a couple of times before, I love finding rhythm before we get out to play. That's even harder when we're pressed for time. So one of the first things to start warming up there, and I've talked about these a lot, just getting arm swings going. Just simple little ways to start to warm the body up. You can do these just walking, as soon as you get to the range, you set your clubs down, take a few of these. Doesn't have to be a lot, get the thumbs working both ways. Starting to find a little bit of rhythm there. You can do some simple things to get the hips going as well. Little twists, just back and forth instead of starting to hit a ton of balls. Nice and easy, starting to get into the hips, get a little rotation. You can do some arches, you can do some tucks. Just starting to tuck the pelvis under, rock the pelvis back, tuck the pelvis under, rock the pelvis back. This is going to do a lot to start to fire up again into the hips, into the pelvis. That's a lot of things that we need as we start to get out onto the golf course. So easy little moves. I always love a moving squat. If you guys have seen a few of the videos, I'll throw moving squats in for anything. Just getting into the body a little bit, starting to get the body warmed up. Again, nice and easy, just moving around. You can do something that I call windshield wipers. Another really good one here, just easy little rocks. If you put your hand right on your hip doing this, you can feel the ball and socket in your hip just rocking all the way through. Again, really going to be beneficial starting to warm up into the body instead of forcing into the body and starting to just swing drivers as hard as we can when we get to the range there. Another one I really like, guys, when you are running late, I love to swing something a little bit weighted. I like to swing it anytime before I play. The biggest thing I want you to know, when we swing something weighted, whether you grab 2 wedges, whether you use a golfer's toolbox or a stretching pole or anything that you have weighted, an orange whip is another really good one. We're not doing this for speed. We're doing this to try to find a little bit of rhythm. So again, if you can swing driver 110 miles an hour, you should be swinging something weighted about 30, 40 miles an hour. Just finding a little bit of rhythm into it. Another thing that we always want to keep in mind when you swing something weighted, if you're a righty, make sure you turn it over and start to swing it lefty as well. So again, simple little things that we can be doing just to get into the body. I know it's really stressful when you get to the course, you're running late. Maybe you need to hit that cup of coffee. Maybe you need to get to the range and feel like you need to roll a bunch of putts before you get to hitting balls, whatever it is. Another good goal here when you get to the course to warm up and you're running late, grab 3 balls. Don't worry about where the holes are. Roll them from one side of the green to the other. Try to roll them from one fringe to the other. Try to find the speed of the greens. That's going to be much more important than hitting a few putts trying to make them. Just roll them. Maybe you think they're rolling about a 10. You hit the first one. Try to get to the other side of the fringe. You roll it 3 feet into the fringe. Okay, they're rolling a little faster that day. So good drill there. Again, getting to the course, just rolling some putts back and forth. Simple things that we can be doing to get into the body without keeping that stress going and just firing through hitting as many balls as you can. So if you have any questions about these guys, if you want a few more tips on how to warm up, especially when you're running late, feel free to email me directly, mark@thegolfyogi.com. Always happy to help, guys. Head out this weekend, and if you're running a little late for that tee time, don't worry about it. Get there, go nice and easy, get the body prepped. Your body's going to respond a lot better on the golf course than trying to hammer through a really fast warm-up session. Have a great weekend, guys. Play some great golf. Cheers.